Yogis and anybody here on Instagram. So happy to hang out with you today, winter solstice. In a couple of moments, my good partner in crime, YogiOnline, will be here into the call. And let's see if we can add her in here. All right, so here she comes. Hello everybody. So we have Marnek 67, Hija. Yay, Yogi Online chatting with me live here on Instagram. This is our first. We have done lots of work on Facebook and now we're just making our way over here into Instagram. So welcome everybody. Hija de Flores, Satnam, great to see you. Satnam everybody. My name is Salimah, yoga therapist, and I'm joined here live with my colleague and good friend, Steph. Steph from YogiOnline. Steph, give us a little sound check. All good on your side?
Yeah, can you hear me? Greetings.
Yeah. Okay.
Satnam.
Satnam. Good to be with you here today. So our theme, our yogi chat today is about winter solstice. Here we are, December 21st. And there is lots to say about this particular time of the year. And we've got some options for conversation. And then we've also got a few things, some rituals. I'd like to share some rituals with you that you can do over the coming 24 hours to really harness and use the energy of winter solstice to take your intentions, to take your aspirations a little further, a little deeper. So welcome to everybody here on Instagram. We love having you and thank you so much. And we see you. Thank you. And so Steph, let's dive in, shall we? Winter solstice, what does it mean for you?
Oh, well, gosh, here in the Northern Hemisphere, as I know you are too,
Yes.
it means it got very dark. It's been getting darker and darker.
Yeah.
And now today we're 5 p.m. here at GMT and we have the shortest day of the year. So it's dark. And well, it got dark at around 4 actually. So yeah, shortest day of the year. I thought I'd demonstrate why we have these like summer solstice and winter solstice, longest day and shortest day. So I've got my sun's globe.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Because some people know why this happens, and I'm sure most people do, but basically the earth is tilting as it spins. So it, well as spinning, it's going like that and like that over the year. And if this is our sun, we're kind of like here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're tilting away from spins. Over a year, we'll wobble back and we have the longest day of the year. So the sun is there for longer. So I guess our friends in Australia, Southern Africa, and all sorts of exciting places, lots of islands, are probably having their summer solstice. Well, their summer solstice. So, I mean, for me personally, it's welcome in the midwinter celebrations. I get to spend with the family and eat food and not work for days and just celebrate really. So yeah, how about for you over there in
Yes.
the lands of Canada?
Yeah, so we're probably on the same line of longitude over here. So
Yeah.
yes, definitely it's gotten colder. This is unofficially the first day of winter. And we celebrated already this morning by going out into the forest and doing a little bit of ritual for each of the elements. And that's been a way to really take this on. You know, there's Christmas that is, you know, argument's sake, very commercial and all about certain aspects, you know, celebrating through gift giving or celebrating through certain family traditions. And what I love about this particular time is that it's my connection to the earth itself. It's to the planets, it's to the solar system, it's to all of our ancestors who really navigated life based on what the sun and the moon were doing and the stars and the night sky and the light sky. So all of that really it really means a lot. I'm getting goosebumps actually. It means a lot to have that opportunity to commune with nature and also step away from some of the hustle and bustle of this time and actually to relax. And I've taken on for this season what I'm calling wintering. And wintering for me is to, yeah, I see the hearts there. Thank you. Wintering for me is looking at what is the planet doing, or what is our part of the planet doing, and it is resting. You know, there's a cover of snow on most of our area right now here in Toronto, and it is a time to rest and to reflect and it really deeply embed the seeds that are going to grow in the springtime. So I think for me, that's really what this particular time of the year is all about. And, you know, in Kundalini yoga traditions, there's also celebrations that happen at this time. So we're missing those right now because of where we are in the pandemic and things like that. But it's still near and dear. And there's lots of ways to celebrate with people who are close by. So that's what it means here on my side. It's really interesting to hear how we're doing something similar, even though we're far apart on the planet.
It's true. There's, you know, so many people all over the world are celebrating this time of year because it is, like you say, it's a unifying, seasonal, geographic, physical, cosmic event. It doesn't belong to any one tradition, and I love that. It's brilliant.
Right. And yes, I think that, you know, let's say more about that because, you know, the Christmas feels very religious, or it feels like it belongs to certain people, and the sun and the moon and the planet belong to everybody. And so as good stewards, it's also important to watch and reflect and do in kind, you know, do likewise to what's happening in the world around us. I want to pause for a second and say Satnam to Ludmilla. Thank you for being there. Chop Shop, yay! Chop Chop Charlie is there. And Marnik67, thank you. Karen Fear, all these good friends from Instagram hanging out with us today. So tell us a little chat and comment on our video. What are you celebrating and how are you celebrating this particular time of year? Have you known about it before? And is it something that you are now coming into for the first time? Let us know. We'd love to see that in the chat. So please go ahead and do that. And what else would you like to say about this particular time, Steph? I know that you said you've taken a little break. So how else are you exploring, and what else would you like to share about this time?
Sure. Well, I shared my last class of 2021 this morning, which was lovely. Yeah, so what I love about celebrating this time of year is that it's a time when everything stands still. And I think Christmas does reflect that in a way. Some of those lovely hymns in the Christian tradition that are so gentle, soft and quiet. And so solstice actually means sun standing still. And then, of course, on the 25th, we have the sun begins to move again. So we have 3 days of this sort of hushed stillness, which is quite magical, and it can get dissolved in all the craziness. But I'm really trying to capture that at the moment. And so I've been doing lots of sun-focused yogic exercises. I've been doing Archer Pose to celebrate the Sagittarian season. So I think we're in Sagittarius, yes, and we're going to leave in the next. Now we're leaving Sagittarius, so it's almost like been doing my Archer Pose this morning, nice holding there, and then releasing that arrow for the next Capricorn phase of our astrology. I've been doing some sun salutations, and I've got a little box of midwinter tricks for breaths. So when we're invoking a solar energy, aren't we? We're feeling the sun or the return of the sun, but we're also might get quite triggered around the family. Some of us who have not such easy birth family situations. So as well as the sort of sun and the outward going and the right nostril breathing and the warrior, I've also got in my toolbox some lovely calming breaths. So Sitali pranayams, inhale through the mouth and out of the nose, just to cool and chill out. And lion's breath and horse breath, which is one I've been doing recently, which is very relaxing. So when I'm getting stressed, with the family. I'll nip upstairs and I'll sit in my room and go, or whatever. I mean, I'm just being sort of lighthearted.
Yeah, I love
They're all
it.
just decompress really from being thrown together into sort of social situations that might challenge. So yeah.
Absolutely. I, I love all the array of different tools that you're using at this time. You said Archer Pose and Satali Pranayam, lots of different things. I just want to address a couple of things that came up in the comments. There is somebody, Allison said, this is a time of rest and a day of prayer, which is really important, is to summon and harness the energy of coming into the light. So this is the longest night of the year, shortest day of the year, and also welcoming the light. And I think of light as awareness, not just light as in the sun and what it's doing, but rather what is our consciousness offering to us at this time of the year? What is our intuitive, soul felt idea of what needs to happen next? My son just threw on the lights, so we are literally experiencing that right now. And there it goes off again.
The
So
sun casts his
yes, the small sun in my life and the big light of the ring. Anyway, so that's poetic. There was another comment here from somebody who said, you know, that winter is often a grieving time from the summer. So rather than, you know, embracing and involving this time of the year and celebrating it for what it is, colder, darker, different set of outdoor kind of activities, there's sort of a feeling of, oh, what was left behind. And I think that she rightly said that it's time to, you know, switch that up so that the seasons can all be a blessing, not just one or two of them because we fancy that weather better, but rather that each part of the year brings us quite a bit closer to who we really are. So I just want to add to the conversation, there's now winter solstice, and then we have Navroz, or I'm forgetting the, Navroz is spring in a lot of Persian countries or Middle Eastern countries. This is the start of the new year, which is also attributed to spring. And then equinox, is it? And then we have,
equinox is when the days are equal.
Yes, okay. So we have the solstices, which make days and nights longer, and then we have the equinoxes, which is the third quarter of the year, that make the day and the night equal. Please stop. And that is that also is also a time of celebration. But there we go. That's part of what we're working with right now.
Yeah, and in the Nordic countries, you have the Yule, the Hanukkah we've had quite recently, haven't we? Saturnalia in ancient Rome, where they all nuts and feasted and got into their debauchery.
Yes. Yeah, and I think this is, for me particularly, I feel that these are times of probably our ancestors, you know, who are our women ancestors who celebrated these times and created a ritual around it. And I think that that's an important piece to connect to as well. So you did some postures and breath work that we could explore, that everyone here who's listening could explore. I'd like to offer some ideas in terms of rituals. And hopefully that will, for those of you who are looking to step into this for the first time, a ritual that could galvanize you into celebrating what's happening, the coming of light. Okay, so the first one is to ask your guides. So this is a really holy time of the year. We know that in certain traditions, this is the time of the coming of the light, coming of the sun, and take that any way you like. And this is a good time to ask, where should I go next? What does the next year offer for me? And how can I best show up? What's the, what are the things that I can let go of now? And where do I need to turn my energy in my direction? So that's one, is a ritual around connecting with your guides. That could be done with a pendulum. That could be done with a set of oracle cards. It could be done in many, many different ways. So that's one. The second one is to really think about what do we want to release now? Now that we're hibernating, what do we want to sit with? And what do we want to lighten the load from? And then my third on the list is to rest, to actually use this time, for those of us who are in the north, is to use this time as a time of rest. And if you are tuning in from down south, that this is a time of activity, of growth, of, you know, harnessing the energy of the sun. I'll go on to say it's time to turn off the lights. So tonight we'll be heading to bed a little earlier to make use of that really long night, and then lighting some candles, lighting a fire. Next one is to purify. So to think about, you know, when it's time to shower, or when it's time to burn or set something on fire, to really think about how much lighter, cleaner can I be in this next phase of my life. And then finally, bring in the light. You know, talk to the light directly. Have a conversation with the sun. So those are mine. Yeah, so those are mine. All, you know, all of my own creation. There's no set way to do any of this stuff. It's more of how can we engage a little bit more.
Yeah, and perhaps one idea might also to be to greet the sun when it comes up in the morning, and stare into the sun, because actually it's very helpful for the pineal gland deep in our brain. So very early morning sun, obviously not 11 a.m. when it's, well, maybe not in winter it's so strong, but very early sun, just to reset our circadian rhythms, because we are unseated from them with our calendar. Our calendars don't work with us, really. They don't really work with our bodies. So the sun gaze is a very powerful thing to do, just to help the pineal gland. And then obviously when we have a strong, healthy pineal gland, we have a strong immune system, we have a strong nervous system, strong hormonal system, and a balanced sleep-wake cycles. And obviously we know that the pineal gland is very much stimulated practically in every kriya that we practice, with the drishti, with the focus, with the meditation that engages this frontal lobe. Yeah, I mean, we don't often see the sun at this time of year. It's often clouded behind, well, clouds, but if we can get a glimpse of it, I think that's a really healthy thing to do.
All great ideas. And so in this time of rest, I know that you've got some interesting offerings these days. So can you give us a little idea of what else you're working on, and share with us where can people find you on Instagram and wherever else you are in cyberspace?
Oh, well, I'm YogiOnline.co.uk, and I offer live stream and replays only memberships for people all over the world. So it doesn't matter what time zone you're in, you can tune in. And come the new year, I've been archer posing my intentions into being. I'm going to be offering some short courses so people can engage for different reasons, and have videos to keep for situations such as pre-presentation, anxiety. Menopause is my particular passion, just because I am perimenopausal, and it's a deeply fascinating autumn of my own life, if you like, or fall. So yeah, find me YogiOnline 108 here.
Awesome. Yes, and I love all your work on women's health, and I think those are very important, especially because, you know, Western society doesn't say very much about this time of our lives. There's much more mystery around how will our bodies change and what is changing. So I love that you've taken that on.
Well, it's turned into everything's going wrong, and actually, just like embracing the winter solstice, how can we embrace these changes and allow the body to do what it does best? So yeah, just allowing the hormones to rearrange. It's like a metamorphosis. So if we could frame it in that way, I think it's really empowering for women.
Awesome. I love it. Just a little shout out here. There's someone else chiming in about perimenopause. Patricia, great to have you here from Portugal. Ela Institute from South America, and loving the sunsets and the sunrises. So there's lots of good engagement here. Thanks, everybody. We love hearing from you. We love knowing that this work is meeting the mark for you. And so on my side, again, also like you, one more final video coming out in a couple days, and this is around the idea of generational healing. There's a lot to this time of the year, and there's a lot that's happening in the world right now, asking us as women to step forward, step into our truth, step into our knowingness. And part of that is being healers and the bringers of awareness into our families. And so I have a specific meditation coming out in a few days' time on YouTube for that. You can check me out on YouTube at YogaVision Online. And in the meantime, two other offerings. One is numerology consults, and this is such a fantastic time to get involved in that right now, because really you're setting your intentions for what 2022 is going to look like. And then also Kundalini yoga teacher training. So if you love the practice and want to know more about it, there's only so much that Steph and I can download to you in an hour-long class. Really, where the depth of the knowledge comes from, and the experiential and the deep dive and the accountability, all of those things, and the circle of women is coming through these kind of training programs. And so if that's of interest, please feel free to send me a DM, and you can also check me out at my website, yogavision.com. And there you'll find all the details, and hopefully something in there, you know, sparkles your interest. Both of those are on sale right now, the numerology as well as the Kundalini yoga teacher training. And I think that there is a whole bunch of my students here online. Mira, I'll give you a shout out. Thank you for being here. And thank you, everybody. We are here for a couple more moments. So if you have questions that you'd like for Steph and I to answer, happy to do that. And Steph, any part of it? Yes. How are you going to celebrate the new year? What's in store for you?
Oh, that's a great question. I haven't even got that far in my mind. Probably my children. Probably Scrabble in front of a fire.
Oh, lovely. That's lovely. Okay, great. I think we're going to take some sparklers out. We're going to light up some fireworks and really like do a little noise and a little merrymaking.
Gorgeous. And just to pick Alison's comment there, you're right. The silence around perimenopause and menopause is shocking. So it's time for us to pick up the mantle of leading us back into an empowered place. So let's make 2022.
Absolutely. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be revealing a new tagline for YogaVision, new look and feel, and that's it exactly. So you've helped me kind of kick that off. Is number one is transformation. That's what we are best at as yogis and as women. You know, how do we allow changes? How do we bring that on? Transformation is one part. Leadership is another. You know, there may not be a lot of information out there, but we can take the leadership there. And then finally, how do we have impact in the world? So all of those things are have become very important, especially in this online world and this new sense of priorities right now. And so we'll look for more announcements on that. And I kind of did a spoiler alert, so thank you. Thanks, Steph, for inspiring that little comment there.
Cool.
So there's some living the now. I want to give a shout out to Naomi. Thank you for being here. Mira, thank you for being Ali. Thank you for being here. It's so great to have all of you. Satnam and winter solstice blessings to all of you. May all the love inside of you be reflected in all the love that comes back to you. On behalf of both Steph and myself, give you a big winter hug.
Wishing you blessings of the inner light.
Satnam.
Thank you. Satnam, Salimah. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Some great comments.
Really good. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll be back in January. We do these every Tuesday, and topic of interest. And so if you have some ideas for topics that you'd like us to cover, please go ahead and drop a comment below. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, this recording will be up on YouTube in a couple of hours, and also here for your viewing pleasure whenever you've got a chance. Satnam, bye for now.
Bye.
Yes, my love. You're great. Yes, you did great.